Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good morning, everyone. Today, I think Sally gave a summary about the last week's class up to we did the Ditte Dittamattang advice in detail till Viññāte Viññātamattang. So now today we have to go into the next part, which is the last part of the advice given by the Buddha. So in this explanation, I think screen. I hope everyone can see the screen.
Yes, Bhante.
So here, this up to this is the commentarial explanation we gave up to here. The commentary, the explanation that we had about means our explanation. So we did up to here. Tasmatiya bahya, tasmatihate bahya. Evan sikkitabbam ditte dittamattam bhavisati, sute sutamattam bhavisati, mute mutamattam bhavisati, viññāte viññātamattam bhavisati. So then, I think we explained them in detail. And also the adipaya. Adipaya means what was intended according to this sutta. It was not just mere seeing or just stopping the functioning of seeing without any reaction. There is a lot of vipassana in this explanation. Like it covers the vipassana practice. I think it was explained today in the today briefing also. Then the remaining part, evan hite bahya sikkitabba. I think we translated this 2 times last week. Evan hite bahya sikkitabba. Thus, you should train. So te here is instrumental case. Sikkitabbang is a future passive participle. Thus, training should be done by you. If you analyze them grammatically, in simple explanation, thus you should train. Then we have yato kote bahya ditte dittamattam bhavisati, sute sutamattam bhavisati, mute mutamattam bhavisati, viññāte viññātamattam bhavisati, tato tvang bahya natena. So tato tvang bahya natena. This is the relative clause up to here. This is the demonstrative clause. So if we color it for easy understanding, this is the relative clause. This is the demonstrative. Natena is the demonstrative clause. Then we have yato tang bahya natena. This is another relative clause. Tato tvang bahya natatha. This is the demonstrative clause. Yato tvang bahya natatha is the relative clause. Tato tvang bahya ne vidana ubaya mantarena. This is the demonstrative clause. It's better to have a comma here just to show that this is the relative clause ends. So after the relative clause, normally we have a comma. So here also there should be a comma. So here, yato with the to suffix. To suffix. We know to suffix have few meanings. One first is ablative. Then we have a locative meaning. We have instrumental meaning. Where really we have accusative and genitive. Accusative and genitive. According to the Moggallana grammar, there is a nominative to suffix. I didn't discuss about this because it's related to a samasa. Because sometimes we have samasa. When we do the samasa, we normally drop the case ending. So in some cases, normally drop the case ending, and so in such case, there is a samasa yato yatvadikaranam likewise. So the Moggallana grammar has two explanations on that. If it was a separate word, yato is divided as a different case. To my memory, it was ablative. If it was made as a samasa, we take it nominative. I didn't discuss about this because it's not that much. I feel it's not that much important. But for your understanding, keep in mind, according to Moggallana grammar, to suffix, you can see this in Niruktadipani, to suffix is explained as nominative also in some cases, right? But it can be explained in other way also because we have two alternative explanations of that. Anyway, we discuss about in our class, we discuss 5 meanings of to suffix: ablative, locative, instrumental, accusative, and genitive. These are the 5 meanings. So here the commentary gives explanation on this. Yatoti yada yasmava. So if I put it in brackets, yatoti yada comma yasmava. So why do I go to the commentary on this sutta more? Is because when you are supposed to explain Dhamma points, we need to have the meaning explanation of commentary very greatly. But if we are explaining just a story, not very profound Dhamma point, we can understand it directly. We just need the help of the commentary only for some words. But when we are giving such brief Dhamma, because Buddha preached Bahya in very brief. So in such cases, we do need the explanation of commentary to understand the meaning correctly. So that's what has happened here. So therefore, yato can have 2 meanings, yada and yasma. Yasma is ablative case. Here ablative means ablative of cause, reason. Yada shows, so yasma is ablative of cause. So yada explains that to suffix in the meaning of ablative of case. According to yada, it says to suffix in the meaning of locative of time, not just locative of time. So to suffix can be can have 2 meanings. Yato means yada, when. Yasma, due to which, right? So due to which, the cause. Va says that it can have 2 meanings, alternative meanings. Yato kote bahya ditte dittemattam bhavisati. So if we take this first explanation, yada, when, of to you or in you, we can have in you or to you, bahya ditte dittemattam bhavisati. So only seen, we have 3 meanings on this, ditte dittemattam bhavisati. So whatever it is, in you, just seeing has occurred as seen, just as seen. Sute sutamattam bhavisati. Or we can say just hearing what you have heard, just hearing has occurred on what you have heard. Mute mutamattam bhavisati. Just sensing has occurred on the object which has been sensed. And vinyate vinyatamattam bhavisati. Just knowing has occurred in the object that is cognized in the level of, similar to the level of avajjana, just an adverting in just a similar to adverting, which means no kilesas involved. So when the mind is working in such manner, we are taking yada here. Tato also, then corresponding to that, we have 2 meanings according to the explanation. Tato ti, this commentary gives, tato ti tada tasma va. So according to tada, the to suffix in the meaning of locative of time. Tasma also similar to the yasma, to suffix in the meaning of ablative of cause. These are the two meanings. Derivative of cause. Yeah, I think it's clear with the blue color. So then if you take yada, when these minds happen in such a manner, dikte, diktamakta, and so forth, at that time, so if you take tada as the meaning, at that time, right, at that time, yeah, this is the, there should be a comma here, bracket, at that time, so we will mark it in red color, otherwise you get confused. So tato, at that time, bahya, twamba, you, nathena. So here thena is instrumental case. Na is the negation. Nathena bhavisati. Something like that. We have to say. Nathena bhavisati. It means so commentary gives the meaning should be nathena bhavisati. We have to add the meaning bhavisati here because relative clause was given in the future, so we can imagine the demonstrative clause also we can give in the future tense. Here also is future, bhavisati, here is bhavisati. Nathena. So this is instrumental. So instrumental, here the meaning should be taken, the instrumental meaning of instrumental as with, together with, or with. The instrumental case have few meanings. One of the meanings is instrumental with. I'll come to that in the lecture notes. So at that time you are not with it. You are not with it. So what? So just thena means it. The, here we can say the is the stem plus instrumental case. Right? The plus instrumental. Instrumental is normally traditionally we call ena, right? So the plus instrumental case here. So the shows that, it gives the meaning of that. Instrumental case gives together with. Instrumental case indicates together with. So you are not together with that. You are not together with that. So then commentary explains this. What is that? That is the kilesas, the defilements. That is at that time you are not with raga, dosa, or moha. Raga, dosa, or moha. So we have to, first we analyze according to the word order. Then we have to find out what does this mean according to the ultimate explanation. What does this mean according to the ultimate explanation? So the meaning is when your mind occurs in such a manner, like ditte, dittamatan, and so forth, at that time you will be not with it. You will be not with it. Not with it means you will not be with raga, dosa, moha. This explains about the eradication of raga, dosa, moha. I separated the first advice. So when you are not with this, when the mind is occurring in such a manner, at that time you are not with raga, dosa, moha. The brief explanation: when your mind occurs in as dikte, diktamatang, and so forth, according to the advice, at that time you are not together with defilements. That is what it means. You are not together with defilements. So if you take it as yasma, right? So due to when your mind is occurring in that manner, due to this reason is your mind is just ditte mattang, not going into raga dosa moha. Due to which, then because of that reason, you are not with raga dosa moha. So if you take the yasma, the second meaning, due to this practice, you will not be together with dasa. You will not be together with this. So if you get the second explanation, due to practicing as explained ditte mattang. I'm just giving the meaning, not the translation here. Due to practicing, you will not be together with defilements. So these are the two. So this one is based on the yato in the locative meaning. Here is yato in the ablative meaning. So that is how we have to give the translation differently. So you can use your own translation. So this there are some advices that gives that yato can have ablative, and also especially the locative meaning can be found in some vipassana practices. The word yato, the to suffix, can have this locative meaning. So whenever whenever your mind occurs in such a manner, at that time will not be together with defilements. So if you take the ablative meaning, due to practicing in that manner, you will not be together with defilements. So this is the explanation based on this this advice. Before going into questions, I would like to give a grammatical information about the instrumental meaning, instrumental suffix. According to the instrumental, we have few meanings. Instrumental have various meanings. So we can, with instrumental, indicating with. Instrumental indicating with. This is, we have few ways to explain this. Sometimes we use the instrumental with indeclinable. Puriso puttena saha gaman gacchati. The man goes to the village with his son, or together with his son. So then we also can have saha saddi. The man goes to the village together with his son. We can use puttena saha, puttena saddi. So this is instrumental case. It's connected with saha and saddi, which are indeclinables. Saha and saddi. So also we can say without saha and saddi, puriso puttena gaman gacchati. The man goes to the village with the son. With the son. So here also it's just instrumental, but it's without the indeclinable. So therefore, the meaning of with or together with, they can be done with the usage of indeclinables and also without the indeclinables. So in the sutta, natena natam bahya tato tam bahya natena. So here if you say tato twang bahya na tena. So this bahya is a vocative case. So this is the subject. At that time, twang you are na tena bhavissasi. Right, bhavissasi. You will not be together with it. Will not be together with it. So na tena bhavissati. So it's instrumental in the meaning of together or with. I think I made a mistake in the text. Instead of saying bhavissati for the relative demonstrative clause, we have to use bhavissasi. We have to use bhavissasi because the subject is twa. So here, instead of saying bhavissati, should be bhavissasi. So this shows that when you practice das at that time, due to that practice, he will not be together with raga, dosa, and moha. If you have any questions on this, short explanation.
Hi, Bhante.
Yes, Dr.
Yeah. Okay. So at the yato, so we have two classes, the yato and tato. So yato refers to the vipassana stage, right, Bhante?
Yes, exactly.
So and then if we understand the tato as the tada, then it should be at the same time. So it's still at the vipassana level. And if we understand tato as the tasma, then does that mean that it happens at the no longer at the vipassana moment? It reached to the magga and phala moment?
Okay. So shall I explain that question a little bit further for all students? So I think what Dr. Ryan is asking, if we take it yada at that time, when and at that time. So because we know this is a vipassana practice, right? We know a vipassana practice. So if you take it yada, so tato is the demonstrative clause. So when you practice das, at that time, you will not be together with lopa. So what is asking, if this is vipassana, if you take the yato as yada, so when you practice das, at that time, during that vipassana practice, you will not be together with lobha, dosa, moha. So in the both the clauses are explaining about vipassana. If you take it as yasma, due to which, so when you are saying is a yasma, the cause, reason, when you are practicing like this, because of that, you will not be together with lobha, dosa, moha. It can be both at the vipassana mode, because when you practice, you will not be with vipassana due to which, and also it can indicate magga level, because of vipassana, you are going into the magga. It's a result. This is the cause, this is the effect. So if you take the yasma, we can take two meanings. This is the vipassana stage, and it can also, this demonstrative clause also can be vipassana, because due to your practice, you will not be with lobha, dosa, moha during vipassana, and also it can indicate the magga level, because due to vipassana, you attain the magga, eradicating the defilements. But if you take the yada, it should be both the clauses should be vipassana level, because at that, when you practice at that time, so it indicates during that time, you will not have defilements while you are practicing. Is that what you mean, Dr. Ryan?
Yes, exactly.
Right. So then it's a good question. Thank you for that. But I think this is, I also didn't think about it, but I feel at the moment when you ask the question, what I feel is they are taking the entire practice as a one thing. So it is true that this yato, if you take yada and tada, because according to the commentary, tato is the magga level, right? Tato in the magga level. Just give me one moment. I'm reading the commentary again. Yeah. So according to the tradition, this is the this is what I feel when I read the commentary. According to tradition, this is vipassana. And then this one is magga. The magga level. This is vipassana and this is magga. So it seems like they have taken the entire practice, the pahana parinya, as one thing, and it is taken as a one phase. So, and when you practice thus, you will not be, your defilements will be removed. So when we say at that time, even though it is immediately after the practice, because after the Gotra Magga rises, so this is like up to Anuloma Jnana, we can have this vipassana practice. So I think still, even though ultimately it is after the vipassana, but still they would call it, we would call it at that time. But if you take it, ultimately you are correct. This is happening after. It's not while the vipassana is happening. This is happening after. Or then another way of explanation is at the moment of magga, even, actually the commentary say, yeah, what the commentary is saying is this part includes all the 6 visuddhis, the lower visuddhis. So it's the vipassana practice. So then this part includes the jnana darsana visuddhi. So another, but still they are using the yada and tada. But if you go ultimately, you are correct. It is happening one after another, not at the same time. So that's what I feel. Even though it is explained as yada and tada, it is happening one after another, immediately one after another. Maybe they were taking the entire practice as a one thing, and in the practice, while you are practicing, so the entire course of practice, while you are practicing, you will not be together with defilements. But within the practice, it is happening one after another.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
That's how I feel. Yeah. Okay, thanks for that sharp question. Any other questions? Right. So then we are not together with defilements at that time. Then another explanation is, at that time we will not be together with defilements. Then another explanation the commentary gives is, at that time you will not together with bound or attached with what is seen, heard, sensed, and cognized. Another explanation. So this is according to the commentary. I think I'll take the commentary as the last week. It will be more easier. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah. So here we have the commentary explanation on this part. So according to the commentary, when you see the commentary, you will find out there are two alternative explanations. It's a long one. So I'll be focusing only on the Tena part. On the Tena part. So here, it becomes Tasmin Kale, at that time, Tenava Karanena, due to which that reason. So this is what we said, Yada and Yasma. Dittadi Patibaddena Ragadina Saha na Bhavisati. So that is what say, you will not be together with Loba. Dittadi Patibaddena Ragadina Saha na Bhavisati. You will not together with Loba attached to the objects that you have seen and so forth. Prattova, Duttova, Mulova, na Bhavisati. It means you will not be Ratto means angered, Mulova, deluded. So since you are not together with Raga and Dosa Moha, connected heard objects, at that time you will not be that. So it means you will not be the person who's attached, the person who is angered, the person who's deluded. Or another explanation, alternative explanation is, because here we see the Va here. So this Va says that, so this is the first explanation, and the next explanation comes with a Va. So we know this is another explanation. That is how we read the commentaries. Pahina Ragadi Katha, due to, this is ablative case, a suffix, the ablative case, Utta is abstract meaning. Pahina Ragadi Katha means due to the Raga is removed, right? Due to Raga is removed. Tena dittadina saha patibaddo na bhavisati. Tena dittadina saha patibaddo na bhavisati. So according to this explanation, you will not be connected. Patibadda means attached or whatever delusion or whatever anger. Patibadda means connected, right? Connected in terms of defilements that you have seen. Here what he's telling is, you will not be connected with the defilements regarding the objects. So here, when such defilements are removed, as a result, you will be not connected with the objects as well. So when we have a defilements to a certain object, it shows that we are connected with that object in terms of loba, dosa, or moha. So this tena, so according to this tena can have another meaning, right? At that time, so this is the Pāļi term, tato twang bahya na tena, right? Tato twang bahya na tena. So this tena can, according to this, you are not with defilements, right? Tena can be defilements. According to the second explanation, you will not be connected. Connected is better. You will not be connected with what is seen, heard, and cognized. So here, tena, according to the second explanation, tena is the object of your cognition. Why is that? Because when you don't have the defilements with you, you will not be connected with such things, right? So this is another explanation that we can have. So this same explanation can be given here also. So there are two ways of explaining natena, right? You can explain natena, tatotvam bahya natena, in two ways, not together with defilements and not together with the objects of the defilements, right? Objects that are being cognized and so forth. So this tena, sometimes tena can be with defilements. So because it's na, so it's not, or with the objects that are being sensed. Here also, when you take tena, you can have two meanings, defilements and the objects that are sensed. I think that's, yes.
Bhante, why Bhante changed the word attached into connected? Why
Yeah,
Bhante?
yeah, we can mainly see if you go to the commentary, ditādīna patibaddena rāgādina saha na bhavisati. Patibadda can be attached or something which is connected with something. It's not need to be, because why do I take all? Because we have rattova, duttova, mulhova. So this sentence explains what if you are together with raga, if you are not together with raga, what is your nature as a person? Na bhavisat. You will not be a person who is with raga, attached, who is with angered, with dosa, who is deluded. So this clause shows that. And also raga dina. Adi means raga and so forth. It shows that there are some more defilements. So those defilements can be understood with this clause. They are dosa and moha. Raga refers to ratta. When you have raga, you become ratta. When someone has dosa, he becomes dutta. When someone has moha, she or he becomes mulha. So therefore, it's not only, if you take attachment, we can only take raga. We cannot take dosa and moha. So that's why I have changed it to be connected. Maybe there can be another better word for that. Connected. If you take attached, we can only take raga. That's the problem.
Bhante, I think because we're talking about the state of mind at that moment. At that time, you will not be together with defilements. We're talking about the state of mind at that time, at that particular kana. So at that moment,
we are talking not the kana, Sally.
okay.
I want to correct it because this the magga. So we are talking about eradication of latent defilements. We are talking about the eradication of latent defilements. Even though in a certain moment, if we don't have raga in mind, still we are connected with raga because we have the latent defilements. So yes, your question. I just wanted to correct it.
Yes, Bhante, I understand what you say. But somehow I found the word connected is misleading. I think we better keep the word attaches is better.
No, that's if you keep the word attached, it's not with commentary. That's what I mean. Because commentary says the word patibadda, but patibadda is right. Patibadda can have few meanings. If you are connected to something, it's also patibadda. If you are attached to something, also patibadda. Patibadda means it's connected with something. It can be through attachment, it can be through whatever instrument, it can be physically, whatever it is. So mentally patibadda mostly we call it to raga. So then we have raga dina with raga and so forth. So what are the remaining? Because you will not be together with raga and so forth. So as a result, the person will not be with raga, not be with dosa, not be with moha. So it shows that this adi, this word adi indicates about dosa and moha also. Dosa and moha. So according to the commentator's idea, so when we say we are not patibadda, he's not only referring to attached, he's referring to getting angry with the object or getting deluded with the object. Because of these two words, I changed the word into from attached to connected. That's the reason I did it.
Okay, Bhante, thank you.
Okay, thank you for your suggestion.
Hi, Bhante.
Yes, Dr.
So according to this commentary, it looks like there are many levels in here. So in the Pāļi, in the canonical text, so we have the tena.
Yeah.
Right. That tena, I think that tena refers to, according to the commentary, it's like in the middle stage. That tena is the Because it looks to me that, you know, if he practiced that way, he's not going to be with raga, dosa, moha, and so on. And then because of that, he's not going to be that kind of person. So you see, so it's there another level.
Right.
And then and then because the last wa, it's connected to, it is the alternate interpretation of those people. So that dena is not the dena in the last dena in the commentary is not quite the dena in the canonical text. You see what I mean?
Yeah, you mean this dena and this dena are not the same?
Yeah, they are not the same.
Why I took it as same is because of this wa. So this wa is because of kala or karanena, right? So it indicates this or this. These three va is for either ratta, dutta, or mulha, and this va.
Oh, I see, got it. Yes, my mistake. Yes, my mistake. Okay, thank you, Bhante. My mistake.
So then, yeah, as you said, this because of this, when we are not with raga, dosa, moha, you will not be a deluded ratta, dutta, mulha. So this one is one explanation, and this one is another explanation. So any other questions? Okay, so shall we move to the next one then? So here, then it shows that when you practice das.
I'm sorry, but
yes, right.
Can we go back to that?
Sure.
I didn't see the Pahina Ragadi Kata. Does that mean Pahina Ragadi Kata? It is similar to the Jekha Dipati Badena Ragadina Sahana.
Yeah.
Are they the same?
Sahana Bhavisati. Yes.
If they are the same, then you see, then the next one.
Right.
So if that is the same, so we have the parallel structure in there. So there is also, so that is the dena. And then the deta dina saha, that is the next level.
Right. Yeah, it's I think, Dr. Ryan, it's similar to my understanding. What I feel is it's similar. This kind of explanation is like Upadana Pachaya Bhavo. Similar, I think this is. So we have Upadana Pachaya Kamma Bhavo, and we have Upadana Pachaya Upapatti Bhavo. So what I feel is, so actually what has happened, because of Upadana, we have Kamma Bhava. Because of Kamma Bhava, we have Upapatti Bhava. So actually this part is missing in the text. So these two we explain in the text, and then Upadana Pachaya Upapatti Bhava. So, but if you go into the commentaries, we find we directly Upadana cannot go to Upapatti Bhava. It goes through Kamma Bhava. Kamma Bhava creates Upapatti Bhava. So I think this explanation is also similar to that. So as you said, for sure, this is when you are not with those, when you practice in that manner, you will not together with Lobha, Dosa, Moha, and so you will not be a person deluded, person angered, or person with Lobha, Dosa, and Moha. So then also, when you have no Lobha, Dosa, Moha, you will not be connected with objects. So actually, these are coming one after another. This is a second clause is a result of the first clause, but still, it is possible that we can say when you practice thus, you will not be with Lobha. At the same time, when you practice thus, you will not be together with objects. So I think it is still, according to the tradition, it is still possible to say that when you practice, you are not with lobha and you are not with the objects, but of lobha and objects. You are not with the defilements and you are not connected with the objects. These are both because of practice. But if you analyze them one after another, we commentarily we see first you get rid of the defilements, and as a result you will get rid of you will not be connected with the objects. So, but they are coming one after another, but still we can say because of the practice you are not with the object, because of the practice you are not with the defilements, because of the practice you are not connected with the objects. I think that is what the my personal understanding is. That is what the commentary is suggesting.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that question. Yeah, I think everyone understood it, because what Dr. Ryan is asking, it's a very good question, because when you are practicing, you will not be together with lobha, dosa, and moha. Then the commentary says, due to lobha, dosa, moha is removed, you will not be connected with the object in terms of lobha, dosa, moha. So this shows, because I mentioned that this is an alternative. Instead of this, you can give this explanation. So what is he asking, and the commentary also is clear. When you practice, you are not with lobha, dosa, moha, and because pahina raga adikatta, this sentence says, this word says, because you have eradicated lobha, dosa, moha, so due to that, you are not connected with objects due to by defilements. So what's the question that comes is, according to now this part is the vipassana part, due to vipassana, you are not with lobha, dosa, moha, and due to being not with lobha, dosa, moha, you are not connected with objects in terms of lobha, dosa, moha. So what my personal idea is, these both are still alternative explanations, even though they are cause and they are example. What I feel is upadana paccaya bhava. There are two types of bhava, kamma bhava and upapatti bhava. So if you take that sequence, it should be upadana paccaya kamma bhavo, and then kamma bhava paccaya upapatti bhavo. This should be our tradition says upadana paccaya bhavo. There are two types of bhavo: upadana paccaya kamma bhavo paccaya upapatti bhavo. So, but this is the causal relationship: upadana paccaya kamma bhavo, then kamma bhava paccaya upapatti bhavo. So let us go one after another. But still, the tradition says, you can see upadana paccaya kamma bhavo, upadana paccaya upapatti bhavo. So we omit the in-between link, in-between causal link. So likewise, so one explanation is, because of practice, you will not be together with lobha, dosa, moha. Because of being free from lobha, dosa, moha, you will not be together with the objects. So first of explanation, directly you are not with lobha. Focus on this much. We just say when you practice vipassana, you will not be connected with objects in terms of lobha, dosa, moha. But when you're explaining in a commentary level, you have to mention, you cannot directly come from A to Z, there should be B also. So what we are saying is A causes B, and also another explanation is A is causing C directly, but even though we say directly, ultimately there should be the B stage. That's, yeah, so this is another, this is the way sometimes the tradition explains. So shall we move to the next one? Then we come yato tvam bahya natena. So this also we can have two meanings. Yato, you can have yada or yasma. Yada va yasma va. Right? Yada va yasma va. So if you take yada at that time, yasma is due to. As Dr. Ryan pointed out, yada, it's happening one after another actually, not immediate at the same time, because we are talking about, first we talk about vipassana to magga. Now we are talking about magga to phala. Yato here means tato va tasma va. Tato va tasma va. So when you are not with that, now we have two explanations, whether you are when we are not with defilements or when we are not with the connected with the objects seen, heard, and cognized. At that time means immediately after, not at the same time. Tato twang bahya na tatha. So na tatha is explains you will not be in them. That's why the common field translate. Dittādike na bhavisati, not in them. In them means in the objects. So when we say you are in the objects, what does it mean? You are not going to consider dittādike na bhavisati. You are not attached on them. You are not based on them, considering this is I, this is mine, this is myself. I'll repeat again. When we are not, so here when we are not with the defilements, when we are not with the defilements in the with the defilements, so or as a result we are not with the connected with the objects because we have removed the defilements. So when we are because we are not with the defilements, since you are not with the defilements, then at that time you are not in those objects, you are not based on those objects, you are not established on those objects, you are not attached on those objects, but with what? With tanha and ditthi. With tanha and ditthi, it means considering tanha, mana and ditthi, considering this as I, this as mine, or this is myself. So this is the explanation. So if you take yasma, due to being free from defilements, you will not get attached, or you will not get you will not cling upon these objects, considering this as I, mine, or myself. So this is the next clause. This shows, the commentary says, this is about phala. Is about the phala, because we have removed the defilements and will be free from all the defilements when you attain the defilements. We know that patipasabi pahana. Right? So this is the next advice. Then yato tamba, we'll finish it first. Yato tamba hyana tatha. So here also we can have yato tamba hyana tatha. Here the commentary gives the explanation is tada, yada. Here the commentary gives yada. Then when you are not established or cling upon objects in terms of lobha dosa, raga dittimana, lobha dittimana, considering I, myself, or mine, at that time you will not be in this life, tada, at that time you will not be in this life, you will not be in a future life, in a following life, and you will not be in between. You will not be in between, because you are going to you are free from all the suffering. So that is what it says. Neva ida loke na paraloke na ubhyata. So you are not in any of the worlds, but still he'll be living. It doesn't mean that he's going to die as soon as one attains the nibbana. This is a way of saying when you are attached, when your attachment is removed. So you are not, because it shows about the nibbana, the attainment of nibbana. So nibbana is not considered in this life. It's not something. It's in this life. It's not something in the future life. It's not something in between, right? So that's why it says you are not here. You are not in the future. You will not be in the next life. You will not be in between. Otherwise, it doesn't mean that the person who attained the nibbana will be completely vanish, This is a way of explaining, because when in Abhidhamma point of view, Nibbana is the freedom from the suffering which was going to come. Anupanna Nirodha we call, freedom from the suffering which is going to come. So when we are talking about the Nibbana, when someone has attained Nibbana, so that person is, that state of Nibbana is not belonging to this life, not belonging to the future life, not belonging to any of the lives. So it means he has, this shows his attainment of attainment. Yeah.
So Bhante?
Yeah.
Here, what does mean the Upayamana between the two?
Yeah. This between the two has few explanations given in the commentary. So they have it was I think we discussed this matter one time. It was like in the class also. Two meanings. Sometimes this va, that antara has the meanings of vikappana, and also it has the another meaning. Shall we discuss this on the Q&A session? Because I didn't go through it very detailed, because it's a very deep Dhamma point that they are discussing on this matter. Is it okay we discuss this matter in a Q&A session?
Oh, okay, Bhante.
Yeah, because it gives a lot of Dhamma to be discussed. Need a lot of Dhamma. So it shows that, briefly we take, you are not in this life, you're not in a future life, you are not in between. So it doesn't mean that some would argue about Antara Bhava based on this statement. The Theravadians doesn't accept this according to the Abhidhamma. So therefore the tradition has a meaning. The tradition has a way of explaining what is Antara. But some argue this shows that there is this life, the future birth, and between there is a one state. So for example, some Theravadian monks of the recent future also, recent past also held this idea. I have read one of his explanations given in Sinhalese. He suggests that Antara Bhava is something like when you die as a human, and if you are supposed to be born as a human again, for instance, you're not supposed to be born as a human again. During that time, till you get a proper life, you will be having a state like, according to him, what he explained, that you are not fully dead. You die, but your kammaja rupas would come out of your body. This is not according to the Theravadians. This is how some traditions have. This is how other traditions. So the kammaja rupas of your body come out from your body. Kammaja rupas and chittaja rupas will be there, and some uttuja rupas would also arise. So he will wander in the same figure in the space or in something, as long as he would get a proper place to be born. So what he's suggesting is, he says that this was one of the reasons why the Mahaviharians and Abhayagirians had a split in the ancient past. So what was the Abhayagirians were suggesting? You die and born as a human. So humans are limited. It's not like a spontaneous birth. Spontaneous birth can happen at any place based on your karma. But when you are going to be born as a human, there should be a proper mother's womb that suits to your karma. Because we know the place of birth is mainly decided. It's also decided by our karma. Not only the human nature. It's not only the humanness. It's also the place we are born, the family we are born. Sometimes it's influenced by our karma. Because we know it says a Sotapanna would be born as a human. If he's born, he will be born in a rich family, and also in a family doesn't follow the wrong views. So what they're suggesting is there are limited humans, and according to that, there are limited wombs that are prepared. Not every lady's womb is prepared for a child all the time. So there will be a limited options. So it is possible that there will not be a womb that doesn't suits your there can be an occasion that there are no wombs that fits your rebirth. So till the womb is prepared, you have to wait in between. So what he's suggesting, he is not dead, not fully dead. He's dead, his body is dead, but not fully. Then what the Theravadians argue is when you hit a rock to the sky, it will fall somewhere in the earth. So there will be surely, because there are lots of humans, there will be some place that would suit to your rebirth. So you will be born as, if your karma came as a result of, karma came to give birth as a human, you will be born in any of the wombs that will be there. So normally there will be wombs that suit to your, the simile is given by him, like when you hit a rock to the sky, it will fall. So therefore you're visually born. So that is what the argument is. So about the Antara Bhava. But there are ways that the Theravadians want to explain this Ubaya Mantra in a word. Right? Ubaya Mantra in a word. I will go through this in the, just put it as a question in the paper, Q&A session. So I'll discuss that later. Is it okay?
Yes, Bhante.
So any questions up to now?
Bhante?
Yes, Brother Pāḷi.
Yes, Bhante, I would like to ask about the Pāla part, Bhante.
Right.
So I don't really understand why this one is specifically referred to Pāla, Bhante, because isn't it that in the Magga stage also that the defilements are already eradicated, Bhante? So why this is Pāla, Bhante, like that?
It's like, according to the tradition, Pāla means the defilement.
Oh, sorry, Bhante. I mean the sentence, Bhante. Like, why the sentence like specifically refers to Pāla in Yato Tuang Bahian?
That's right. According to the tradition, even the Magga has eradicated the defilements completely. There will be some kind of they say a heat of the defilements. That heat of the defilements is tranquilized by the Pāla. So unless what the tradition says is your eradication is completed. The full eradication happens at the Magga, but it's come into a completion with the Pāla. It comes into completion with the Pāla. So a person who has fully eradicated the defilements is considered a person who has attained the Pāla. The one who is in the Magga level is eradicating the defilement with the present tense happening. It's happening at the present moment. It's eradicating the defilements. So then I'm not sure why they put it into that level, but normally when they have such an explanation that you will not be based on that and that, it's saying about a result. So when you are not with the defilements because of eradication of defilements, at that time or due to that, you will not be attached with the objects or with objects with the defilements. So in such cases, they have referred it to Pāla in some cases. I'm not sure, I'm not able to say why. That's how the tradition has given this. And also we can say the eradication of defilements is completed by the rising of the Pālacitta. Moment the Pālacitta rises. That is it's like the defilements are like a fire. So you extinguish the fire by crushing on it, but still there will be some heat. The Pālacitta is like you put a water onto that area and completely remove the heat. So that's how the Pāla is explained. It's called Patipasadipahana. You tranquilize the mind stream in which the defilements were there one moment ago. So that is, I'm not able to give an answer why it is so. It depends on, because in some places, for instance, the word viraga can refer to Magga, sometimes it can refer to Nibbana. So there are few meanings. According to the context, they change the meaning of the word. So in one sutta, Buddha mentioned that some ascetics would, according to the commentary also explains on that sutta. I'm unable to give you the reference, sorry. He says that some ascetics would complain you because monks would change in a certain discourse. They would say here it means magga, in another discourse here the same wording can be referred to phala, same wording can refer to the nibbana. So some ascetics would say that you are changing the meaning accordingly, and that is Buddha has accepted that. So sometimes the context under which the teaching was given is very important. So I personally feel there is no such a strict way to decide how to decide whether it's a magga or phala. There is no mechanism. It's like you understand the basics of the teachings, fundamentals of the teaching, and you understand when you have read a lot of teachings, then you feel this is what the Buddha was meaning here, and this is what he was meaning here. So that is something that comes from the tradition.
Okay, Bhante. Thank you so much, Bhante.
And also I want to add something here. The commentary says it's anupadisesa parinibbana. So we don't want to worry about why it's in this life. He's not talking about this life. This is not talking about the moment you attain. Sorry for that. This is not the moment you attain. This is talking about the anupadisesa parinibbana, means the last deliverance at the parinibbana of an arahant. So therefore, that's why you are not in this life, you are not in a future life, or no namarupa at the time. So that's what this. So this explanation. The first part says about the vipassana, ditta. So natena refers to the magga, natha refers to the phala, and neva ida na hurang no de mantrena refers to the parinibbana, anupadisesa parinibbana. But nibbana is same, but traditionally we are talking about this. There will be no remnant of namarupa in him. Otherwise, we talked about when you attain to phala, he will be still living in this life. Addition with the anupadisesa parinibbana, not the swadhisesa parinibbana. So that disappeared completely.
So Bhante,
yeah.
So here, tato tuang pahiya na tatha. Here is refers the Arahanta Maggaphala or not? Because according to commentary, it mentions Kina Sawa Bhumi, right?
Yes, it seems Arahanta Maggaphala. Yeah. Pahana Maggaphala, Kina Sawa Bhumi Dasita. So we can say Arahanta Phala.
Okay, thank you.
We can say all phala, it's like we can still include, but as the commentary says, so then this will be Arahata Magga, right? Seems Vipassana, Arahata Magga, Arahata Phala, and Anupadisesa Parinibbana. Any questions now? Okay, so then I think the time has passed. So this sutta has taken many days. So shall we, if you don't have questions, shall we call it a day, and we'll try to finish the sutta next day, and go to the Gatha also. Now it is not very difficult. Now we have just a story. So after the Buddha has given the advice, he left, and we can just go quickly. So this part from ditte ditta mattang esevanto dukkassa means eseva anto dukkassa. Eso eva anto dukkassa. It is indeed the end of all the suffering. Anta is the end. end of all the suffering. Right. So this is the Buddha teach Bahya completely about the practice in a very brief way. So I'll come to the class after. I'll give the other commentary series. I think it will be useful. Just give me 1 minute because the commentary says when some students may be confused, how did we get this meaning? How did we explain this? Why it's how the commentary explains about the practice vipassana, magga, and phala. I'll give the commentary explanation on this. Right. So this is what the commentary explains about this, what we have so far discussed. So this is the commentary part. Evam tava ditte dittam bhavisati adina dittadi vasena chatuda tebuka dhamma sangahe tabba. So according to this, I'll give a normal explanation on this. So according to that, all the tebumaka dhamma. Tebumaka means 3 worlds. So it's kamavachara, rupavachara, arupavachara. Tebumaka dhamma means lokiya dhamma. So all lokiya dhamma should be sangahe tabbang, should be concisely grouped, should be grouped, or sangha is you concise many things into a small group. So chatuda sangahe tabba. All the mundane realities are classified into 4 groups in a shortened way. So instead of saying all chitta, 89 chitta, 52 chetsika, and so forth, the Buddha has divided all the mundane realities, the realities together with the practice. That's what he has explained. Tatta, them, subha, sukha, nicha, subha, sukha, nicha, attha, gaha, parivajjana mukhena. So parivajjana means abandoning. Mukhena, it means in that main way. In that mukha can be mouth, it can be the source of origin. So here, in that we can say, in that taking it as the main way. It's like taking it as the entrance, by taking it as the starting point. So subha, sukha, nicha, atta, gaha. Gaha is grasping, like you are taking with the mind. Parivajjana mukhe. So he is explaining the subha, nicha, sukha, atta, gaha. Gaha means taking of the mind. So in that manner, asubha, dukkha, nicha, asubha, dukkha, anicca, anattanupassana dassitati. So hettimahi visuddhi sadding sankepene vipassana katita. So with this ditte ditta mattam, it's not only a classification of ultimate realities, mundane realities. He has also explained about the practice, right? He also explained about the practice which abandons the wrong vipallasa by by the contemplation of asubha, dukkha, anicca, and anatta anupassana. So ditte dittamattam bhavisati up to viññāte viññātamattam bhavisati explains about hettimahi visuddhihi sadding sankhepeneva vipassana katita. Vipassana is explained briefly Sankepena. Patita explained. Sadding together with Hettimahi Visuddhi, the lower Visuddhis. We know there are Vipassana 5 Visuddhis. Sila is something foundation for the Vipassana. Then Vipassana has 5 Visuddhis. Out of them, 4 Hettimahi Visuddhi Sadding. Or we can say all this doesn't matter. So all the Visuddhis lower Visuddhi, except the Jnana Dasana Visuddhi. Jnana Dasana Visuddhi is Magga. So Hettimahi Visuddhi Sadding, Sankepena Vipassana Katita. So we can also say Hettimahi Visuddhi can be Sila and Chitta Visuddhi. So whatever, the lower Visuddhis are explained. So Tato Tvam Bahya na Thena Ti Imina Ragadina Samuchedasa Adipetatta Maggo. So Tato Tvam Bahya na Thena Iti, these statements, Imina, by this, Ragadinam Samuchedasa Adipetatta. Adipeta means intended, because it's intended. Samuchedas, complete eradication of what? Raga dinam, raga, dosa and moha. So eradication of complete raga, dosa, moha, adipetatta, maggo. It shows the magga. It can be all maggas, all the maggas, but we know it ends with the arahatta magga. So that's why we put arahatta magga and arahatta pala. But according to the explanation, we can understand it all the maggas. All the maggas do eradicate defilements fully. Fully doesn't mean there are some remnants, but what is eradicated is completely eradicated. So all the 4 maggas have samucheda. So then tato tvam bahya imina phalang. By that it explained about the phala. It's the fruition. So it seems you can take all the 4 magga and 4 phala, right? But the teaching was explained about the final derivation, so that's why we put arahatta magga and arahatta phala. Then neva idati adina. By this, the neva idana huranna ubaya mantrena, the last words, anupadisesa parinibbana dhatu katitati katamba. So this phrase shows about the anupadisesa parinibbana dhatu. So this is how the tradition explains that this phrase starting from Ditte Dittamattang up to Esevanto Dukkasa shows that the Vipassana, Magga, Phala and the final deliverance of Parinibbana. So it was a very deep point, and we discussed about Ditte Dittamattang has 3 explanations, and then Tena Ragadina Na Bhavisati has 2 explanations, not together with Lobha, dosa, moha, and because of that, the person is not connect. Tatta explains about but in the phala, it means the person is not bound or not established on the objects in terms of lobha, ditti, mana, taking as I, myself, or mine. Then, because of that, he attains the final deliverance, parinibbana. Then he is not found in this world, in a future life, or in between. So it's a full explanation, very, very nice explanation, which covers the entire sasana. So if you want to have attained vipassana, you should first have a certain samadhi in your mind. And for that, you should have to have attained sila first. So it covers the entire thing we can call, especially the vipassana part up to the final deliverance. So shall we call the day then? Okay. Yes. Yes.
Just one more question, because the internet connection is not so good, so I cannot hear Bhante say clearly about the word Hettimahi Visuddhi. Bhante mentioned that is it Sila Visuddhi? Hettimahi is like Sila Visuddhi.
Hettimahi Visuddhi Saddin Sankepeneva Vipassana Katitha. Right? It says that the Vipassana is explained briefly together with the below Visuddhis. That's what it says. So normally it is more, Hettimahi Visuddhi can have 2 meanings here. It can take all the 6 low Visuddhis, or it can take all the 4 Visuddhis, low Visuddhis related to Vipassana. Right? Low Visuddhis related to Vipassana. So that's why I said it can be, I'm not able to give you a direct answer on that, someone has, please
Okay.
have suggestions on
Okay.
this, because it can be vipassana together with the lower two visuddhis, or vipassana is explained with the ditti visuddhi, kanka vitarana, magga magga jnana, magga patipada jnana dasana. So also we can say ditti, kanka vitarana, magga magga and patipada jnana dasana. So why do we add the two visuddhis again? So that why do we add the lower visuddhis again? Lower visuddhis, this should be sila and chitta. Or if you analyze on that manner, vipassana is already the ditti, kanka vitarana, magga magga and patipada jnana dasana. Together with the lower visuddhis means sila and chitta, right? Sila and chitta. And then if you take vipassana as an entire thing, then we can, sometimes you can take the lower vipassana visuddhis as the hettima visuddhi, right? So that's why I said you can have, I personally feel both the alternatives are possible. There's no such explanation given directly.
Thank you, Bhante.
So shall we call it a day then? So we have on Sunday we have the Q&A session.
Okay, Bhante.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much,
sadhu,
Thank you
Bhante.
very much, Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu.
Thank you, Bhante.
Wish you all the best.